10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now.
Live from the Tony Wallow Studios, it's the Ken Stout Live Show, featuring the Zoom homies, produced by L&K Productions.
And we're live, and I can hear Greg's TV.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I see you put a comment about Arnold's coming back.
Yeah.
The only thing I saw was Tom Sizemore. His doctors have said that he's not going to improve from that stroke he had.
I hadn't seen anything on him.
Yeah, I just seen that a while ago when I was waiting on Lauren. I was perusing through some channels, and it said that they said there's no chance for improvement. They need to make a decision. Hi, Brian. Jose is with us. I don't know if he can hear us, or I know he's got both his camera and his microphone muted. Welcome into a Monday edition of Ken Stout Live.
Yeah, I tried calling the Social Security Administration to get my account fixed. I can't log into it. On hold for 25 minutes. And I said, screw it, I'll call back tomorrow or the next day.
William Dawson says we have sound and video. That's cool. Yeah, I was an hour and a half trying to get something done with my mortgage company today, and I finally I went through the cycle of pushing the buttons twice, and no matter what button you push, it always brought you back to the same one. So on the third beginning cycle, I said, I'm pushing this button, and this person's not going to be real happy. But I did get a person. And after I explained what I wanted, he said, well, I'm the refinance. I don't really know how to help you. I said, well, can you transfer me to someone that can? He said, I don't think so. So I'll try again tomorrow. I'll get up a little earlier. See, Brian's back. I think he's having some issues, maybe.
It helped to get a little earpiece or speaker going in my ear so I could tell what's going on.
And Bobby Warren says, hey guys. Hi, Bobby. Yeah, I've been in those shoes. I'll forget to change the audio source around a couple times, and I'm like, you guys are talking, I can see it, but I can't hear anything. Been there. I understand. I'll probably do it again. Hope everyone's
So what
doing
did I
all
miss?
right. You haven't missed anything. We just got started. Just getting started. Let Greg in. And Jose's here, but I think he's not at the helm, so to speak. We were talking about Tom Sizemore. I saw a thing where his doctors have said that due to his stroke, he's not going to improve any, so they need to make a decision. I think that's how I read that.
He made some pretty good movies.
Yeah, he did actually. I thought he was really good in Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
For some reason that sticks. It says Tom Sizemore end of life decision looms after doctors say no further hope following stroke, is how the headline reads. So just a stormy Monday here. We had tornado warnings, tornado watches, a lot of rain, a lot of wind. Oh, good. Now we're back to 70 on Wednesday, but we're partly cloudy. They keep changing that. As long as it's not raining, that's fine.
70? Like 70 degrees? Really?
Yes. 1st of March. Yes. I keep joking. We're going to have snow on the ground in July. I won't be able to play golf when I should be able to play golf. I can play golf in January, February, March when I shouldn't be able to play golf. So it only goes to figure.
They have some
Chicken salad.
blizzard conditions going on in the Sierra Nevada, which is up near Tahoe and Reno. Interstate 80 has been closed for, well, I know it's closed now, but it's been closed on and off for the last 4 or 5 days. So it's all moving towards Indiana, is the news that I hear.
You'll have to pardon me. She just handed me a lettuce wrapped chicken salad sandwich thing or whatever.
Well, you can eat that on camera.
No, that would be so rude. You guys don't want to see me eat.
I do it all the time.
I'm as bad as some dinosaurs from the Jurassic Park movies. Hey, Chris, welcome in. Always having audio issues. Now, we're trying to stay away from carbs until I get my surgery, so any kind of sandwich we have now is called a lettuce wrap sandwich. So, not bad. Not bad at all. Takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah, I didn't feel like messing with anything tonight, so I just had some leftover tacos. I had 4 big ones.
Tacos actually sound good. That might be my reward dinner after I get both eyes done, actually.
Especially some hot and spicy ones.
Not big on the real hot and real spicy, but I do like them to have a little kick to them. It's either going to be that or I go to Texas Roadhouse, one or the other.
You like the Texas Roadhouse?
Here in Indianapolis, I've checked out Texas Roadhouse, and I'm trying to remember there's another one here just up the street from us, actually. And my brother says it's better than Texas Roadhouse. I didn't find it was all that good. He recommended one that's about 35 miles out of town that I want to check out.
I'm sorry, that's too far for me. If it takes more than 10 minutes to get there, and I don't want to go.
There's a Texas Roadhouse in Modesto, and we've been there several times, but I mean, the steaks are good. They're pricey, but I don't really like it because I don't like the decor. You got the concrete floors with no carpeting, no tile down. If you look up towards the ceiling, there's no ceiling. All you see is the roof that they spray paint everything black so you don't see the dirt.
Right, right.
And
No.
the tables are very small. They squeeze everyone together in the little teeny seats. You're packed, you know what, hole to elbow.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking for that other one. We do have a family-owned one here in town called Bynum's, and they are extremely good, but they are also extremely expensive. The other one I'm thinking of is called Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Do you have an Outback in your area? Do
We
they have
used
those up
to.
there?
I don't know if we. Yeah, it's, according to the map, we do. I haven't eaten there in years.
It's pretty good. A little on the spicy side. A lot of people don't like it because of the extra spice.
I always like their bloomin' onion. Always like that.
Oh, yeah. I know when I go, I end up myself, my wife, my daughter, her 2 kids, my son will go. So I end up leaving with well, guess who pays for everything? So that's a $200 bill for me by the time I get out.
Oh. Well, supposedly, right across the street from the Olive Garden, there's a Japanese hibachi steakhouse. And I say the word supposedly because I know that area quite well, and I cannot picture that in my mind being there. Now, what I could do is I could click on it and see if it's still open. I guess it sits in a little strip mall. I'm not sure. That's probably why I can't picture it being there, is because it sits in the strip mall. And my general rule of thumb is to avoid steakhouses in strip malls. One last bite, and this will be gone. Hello, Alex. Oh, not Alex. Oh, Jim.
Now, see, I take offense at that.
Well, to be honest, I heard the bell, and I just clicked on allow. And when I glanced over there with my wonderful vision, I thought it said Alex.
I didn't hear the bell.
How's the
Speaking
build coming along?
Actually, interesting news to tell everyone. Apparently, the latest BIOS seems to have fixed the intermittent boot problem.
But
No, there's no.
oh, okay. The way you said that, I was expecting a but.
Well, I'm reasonably convinced that that's what did it. I don't think it fixed it on its own. But there was a BIOS update for the board that came out, I want to say a few days ago. Yeah, I think it was a few days ago. Anyway, it was sometime this month. And the previous one had been released sometime in December. So the one from December didn't seem to fix the problem I was having. But this one I think has.
Well, if you quit putting those beta versions of a BIOS on there, you might be better off.
No.
No beta?
Well, no, I did load. There was a beta version that I put on there. That was the one from December. It had the original BIOS on it, and there were at least one or two normal revisions, and then there was these two betas. And it seemed to me that they were aware of something that they were trying to fix. And the latest release, which is I think 1.18, which I said was released this month, and I want to say maybe a week ago. I loaded that, and I don't seem to be having any problems getting this thing to boot up. So I'm happy.
Well, don't they have a text file with each beta release telling you what the bug swats are?
No,
Nothing.
no, not every manufacturer does that.
Wow.
Asus doesn't do it either.
No, most of them don't.
So
Most
my
of them-
question that I have, because I don't know, is does it identify when you get the BIOS that it's a beta version, or you just
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, it will normally do that. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
The
But
website says
to-
right to the version number, beta version.
right. And let me.
It's
Either
currently
that-
not running, though, right? I mean, I want to make sure I'm seeing no fan movement.
Yeah, it's not running at the moment. I'm
Okay.
working on showing you guys something here in a minute. I got to go in to
Just making sure. I thought maybe you might be messing with me. No, it's working perfectly fine. It's a new illusion.
It's just an illusion.
So the link you posted, Brian, is that for like a little family-owned place in Modesto?
That's a little family-owned place, and actually, I live in a little town called Ceres, Ceres, the goddess of agriculture. It's called the Hot Rod Cafe, and if you scroll down on that menu, you order a Johnny Be Good, or you don't order a ham and cheese sandwich. It's a Johnny Be Good and
Right.
the Duke of Earl, the Big Daddy.
Duke of
Duke of Earl. Yeah.
They got two eggs any style. It's called a Wake Up Little Susie.
That's what I wake up to every morning. That's what we have the alarm. We have Alexa set to play Wake Up Little Susie. And we get about, wake up, Alexa, shut up.
And that place is nearby where we live, and we love going there all the time because the prices are reasonable. The ambiance is not the top bill of the fare, but what the heck? You go there for the food.
Right, right.
Okay. All right. Now,
Are you
I'm
still
going to.
having camera issues? I see a little line across the screen. every
You
once in a
you
while.
will until everything is moved over to the new
Okay.
machine.
All right.
It's just for some reason I don't know if it's the cable that's inside the case or whatever. If I plug it into the back, it's stable. If I plug it into the front ports of the case, I get this little flickering thing.
Huh.
And I don't know if it's that the cable is kind of that the case came with, or if it's something else.
Man.
But that's all going to get solved when I transition to this, because this has enough rear USB 3 ports on it that I don't have to worry about it.
Refresh my
true.
memory. What brand motherboard's in that unit?
Which one?
Your new one.
The new one is an ASRock. This is also an ASRock board.
ASRock.
Yeah, if you'll give me just a moment here. Let me do this. And I'm going to show you the BIOS revisions for this. Now, when I got the board, it had 105 on it. That's
Okay.
the original BIOS. Because this board hasn't been out very long. You'll notice that your initial release was September.
Right.
There was one for October. There was actually two for October.
And a week apart.
A week apart. So they know that I kind of figured they knew what was going on, at least as far as some of the stuff was concerned. But I had loaded this particular beta here, this AS03. And it really didn't seem to help a lot. It helped maybe a little bit, but I was still having these intermittent things where from a cold start, the machine would not boot. It kept the RAM light. There's a couple diagnostic lights on this board, and the RAM light just sat there and it blinked. And from a cold start, it was like I could leave it for 10 minutes. It would be still sitting there blinking.
Wow.
And not post. And then I would manually power it down, then power it back up, and then it would come up within 40 seconds, 45 seconds, which was still a little long, but it came up. And once it was up, it was fine. Okay. If you were to shut it down, but not unplug the power cable or turn the power supply off, it would come back up. But it always took a while. It always took at least 40 to 45 seconds for it to boot, which was annoying to say the least. So now that I'm going to stop this, so I loaded this one here where it says 118 AS04. Okay. Now I'm going to go into here. I'm going to change to the OBS camera here in just a second.
Time's up.
Yeah. Oh, wrong one. Hello.
That was one jiffy.
Yeah, that was one jiffy. Exactly. All right. So, yeah. Okay. So it's powered off. You can see the normal test pattern thing. Now, what's going to be interesting is how fast this actually comes up. So hit the power button and it should light up. Lit up. It's lit up. Okay. So that's 4. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's already up. Boom. It's already booting. It comes up in like about 12 to 14 seconds now. So it's just like, I don't understand what's going on. It's very weird.
So this is normal for it to stick right there saying
no, it's actually it's not normal. So like I said, I'm not entirely convinced it's completely solved. Every once in a while it will hang up. Now, most of it is solved because like I said, it would not come up. It took at least a good 45 seconds for it just to post. So that annoyed the hell out of me. And I couldn't tell if it was the memory. See, there it goes. It's fine.
Yeah, I can see the little.
But that's up a lot faster than it normally takes. So they've made some improvements. There's There may be a few more tweaks they have to do, but
Different background picture. I think last time didn't you have a processor on there?
well, this is a rotating theme.
Oh, okay. All right.
It will change as time goes by.
A slideshow.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
Now it's interesting because they say when you have see if I get the right camera. Is that the right camera? I can't remember. Yes, that's the right one. Okay. They tell you that when you install Windows 10 and you don't have a license key, you can't customize it. Well, that's mostly true. It's not completely true. It's mostly true. If you go search online for Windows desktop themes, which, they change all kinds of things on the system, you can load desktop themes to your heart's content. They will work.
Huh.
Do you mean if you haven't activated it?
Yeah.
Whether or not you actually have a product key or not, just as long as you haven't activated it. Yeah, my experience has been you can do anything you want to it, but after a certain period of time, depending on which version of Windows you have and how far back you go and how mean Microsoft was at the time, certain things would happen to your desktop. In my experience, the worst that would happen is you'd lose your customization or personalization. Your desktop would be black. Well, hell's bells. I wanted a black desktop to begin with.
Yeah, I've run this does not have an active, doesn't have a key on it yet. We're not there yet.
Right. I wouldn't do it. Don't do it until everything is all set up perfectly.
Basically, yes, that's exactly right. I don't bother with any. I ran my gaming machine for 2 years without a key on it. And I could change themes at will because I have several themes that I can load. I have them locally stored on my NAS. So it's not. If you try to manually go in and change things on an unactivated Windows 10, yes, it will not let you do that. But find a Windows theme for, well, in my case, find a Windows theme for Star Trek. Download it, double click on it, it all comes up.
Wintermute dropped a link for the new Fubar Arnold Schwarzenegger thing on Netflix. I think it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll check it out when is it on now or is it they're just previewing it?
March 25th.
Right around the corner. Wednesday's March 1st, so be here before we know it. Alex said he'd be with us in a minute. I don't know what he's doing.
He and that
You probably don't want to know.
That lady,
Do what, Chris?
that lady on Price is Right. She was from plain old Texas.
Yeah, after I sent that, I finished watching it. I realized where she was from. When it first started out, I thought she was from somewhere in the South, but she's from plain old Texas. I really I really thought she might have won everything. I mean, she only won a car. Come on, that's not really worth
Texas
it.
is the South.
How much?
I said Texas is the South.
Well, I guess. I mean, I don't consider it
it
South.
It is.
Hello, everybody. Jim, what are you trying to insinuate here?
What am I trying to insinuate?
Because you said you probably don't want to know. Like, I've been looking at inappropriate stuff, which I'm not.
Well, you just have a guilty conscience, don't you?
He does seem to, doesn't he?
He does. I'm telling you.
Well,
Surprised you didn't. I'm surprised you didn't preface that with, "This will probably put me in the waiting room."
Oh, he'll have plenty of opportunity for that before the stream's
You
over.
already told me. I said something to you earlier, Ken. That you said waiting room.
So you should not have reminded me because I forgot all about that. So I just feel sorry for you. Your honesty is appreciated, but okay.
He's never learned to quit when he's
He
behind.
does it. I'm telling
It
you.
just amazes me. Amazes me.
Oh.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Yes.
In your experience, like with your version of Windows right now, how long are you expecting that you can go without activation? 30 days, 60 days, or is
I've
it
gone,
90?
Brian, I've gone 2 years.
Oh,
I've gone 2 years on my gaming machine.
and you were still able to personalize.
Well, I can load themes. I can't go into, like, if I go into display and I go to manually select a background, it won't let me do it. But I can load theme
Oh.
files. Like, I'll demonstrate that. If you give me a second, I'll demonstrate that. Hang on. Let me go back into Zoom.
Greg, you feeling okay?
Let me turn on the OBS camera.
Yeah,
Speaking
why?
of Zoom,
Well, he said,
Zoom
"Give me a
update
second."
today.
You didn't say time's up. Yes, Alex. What?
I was gonna say Zoom updated today. You should have an update.
All right. So,
Yeah,
I
that
already
was
told him
that was broadcasted earlier. I haven't checked mine. It's supposed to update automatically when you log out, but sometimes mine does, sometimes mine doesn't. Most of the time mine doesn't. I have to do it manually. So
If you
Winter
do-
Mute says Arnold's coming out May 25th.
If you just do an exit, you're not signing out.
Yeah, just close the app and then open it up again, right, Greg?
now, if you want to, I don't know if you want to spotlight this or not. That's
I
up to you.
can't. Hold on. I was listening to the little voices in my head.
Okay. So right now I'm at my NAS. Okay. I've got a bunch of Windows themes here. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, this thing should say that Windows isn't activated. It says it right here. It's not activated. But I can come over here to my theme stuff and I can load whatever the hell I want to load. If I double click on this,
My vote's
There
for
goes-
Star Wars or Star Trek.
okay, but there's the NASA space theme.
Hmm.
And this will rotate several pictures. No problem. Okay. This one's for Firefly, which is that show that I told you about that Fox had canceled.
Right.
Okay. I can do this all day long.
And you're saying you can damn near do that indefinitely.
Yes.
Oh, hell, Microsoft got easy then. Because the last time I was pushing the envelope on that was, probably 4 or 5 years ago. And then there was the little trick where you went in and
Cool.
ran that little command, the site license manager. It was
Yeah, I know.
Right.
KM, whatever the heck. Yeah. KMS,
Right.
whatever the fuck. Yeah, I remember. I know
You
that.
could
I
add
used that for
you
a
could
while.
add 30 days or 60 days onto the normal period that Microsoft was giving people, but apparently
Mhm.
Microsoft just said, hey, whenever you get around to it.
Yeah, go. If you do a search,
At college, we were using an evaluation copy of Windows Server, so I had to do that command line active rearm whatever thing to make it give me another 180 days. And it turned out you can do that rearm thing like 5 times on a Windows Server the evaluation. So if you're just using an evaluation copy like we were, you can get away with the licensed version, with the unlicensed version for at least a couple 2-3 years.
now here's a site that has all kinds of Windows 10, Windows 11 themes of all kinds. You can download any of these and you can load them and they'll work even on a non-activated Windows 10, Windows 11 system.
And they're free.
Yeah, they're pretty much from this website. They're free.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I was just wondering if that was still capable of doing that after the activation period had expired and they put the little notice down in the tray that says you may be a victim of a counterfeit and pay us
I
money.
remember those days. I've seen a couple
Remember
of
those days? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them, and I basically never paid any attention to them in the first place.
Well, that's the days when they also would just turn your desktop black. And at that
Right.
point in time, you could not personalize the desktop. So apparently things have changed. They just said, do whatever you want and whatever you get around to it, activate your Windows.
So you can look at what's in the theme, for example. here before
Sort
you
of
download
preview it.
Yeah, preview it. It'll show you all the stuff.
Go back one. Can you go back one? Which would now be 2. Right. Nope. Go back 1 to the right. No, your other right. There you go. Stop. Is that from? That looks like something from a movie.
Damned if I know.
Green Lantern, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay.
No, I wouldn't consider that to be from Green Lantern.
I've been watching a lot of the Avengers, the Endgame, and
But you can
what
go
was the
into
other one
here.
they did? I'm so confused on that right now.
And just in case anybody's interested, if you go into the Microsoft store, Microsoft also has free themes that are available for download.
Yeah, I know they do.
I don't know where if you download those through the Microsoft store though, I don't know where exactly they're saved by default. Probably in the same location as they normally are. Do you ever copy those over to your local machine, Jim, or do you just keep them on your NAS?
I keep them on the NAS. There's no reason to have them actually on the machine because I have access to the NAS. All it is I go to where I keep them stored. I simply double click on a theme and it loads. It doesn't have to be on the machine.
So this is Doctor Who, right?
Correct.
Okay. Did they change characters and go to a female Doctor Who?
They did for a while. Now they're going back to a male.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay,
Who?
that's a notification.
Doctor
Whatever.
Who was that?
Who.
Who?
Exactly.
Who's on first?
Exactly.
What's on second? I don't know.
He's on third, isn't he?
Third base.
Yeah. Now I run all my family photographs as a slideshow for my background instead of a theme. And I just set it up for a random showing and it changes pictures every 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that it needs to be activated in order for you to do that.
Do you have more than one monitor, Brian?
No, not for each computer. No.
Okay. Because I've got 4 monitors, and I would love to be able to put a random slideshow across it so that they would change every 10 to 15.
Well, I have two monitors on the machine back there, and when I load a theme, they independently change.
To the same picture or different pictures?
Different pictures.
Wow.
Same
But
with me.
But that's a theme. That's a theme. That's not a slideshow.
I like the picture of the moon, what little bit I can see of it.
Well, you can see all you want.
Now I can. Oh, look, there's somebody standing down in that little crater trying to figure out how to hit his golf ball out of this huge bunker.
There you go.
Only you would think of that.
This is true.
That's what you tell me.
Well, if he were to go back and show that, oh, there you go. Original Star Trek cast, and who's the blonde? The Doctor? No.
No, that's the doctor's DeForest Kelly. He's all the way on the left. The blonde is Nurse Chapel, also known as Mrs. Roddenberry.
Right. I knew that she was Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Oh, my fault. Scotty is the one who's all the way on the left.
Under the icons, yeah.
Under the icons. DeForest Kelly, William Shatner, Majel Barrett, Walter Koenig.
Wow. We got a trucker
Which
in
came-
our midst.
So
Who is the doctor?
Who is what, Chris?
The doctor.
DeForest Kelly.
DeForest Kelly was the doctor.
Oh, you supposed to say Doctor Who?
Okay, all of us on the count of 3 now.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jim! I'm a
That's
doctor.
right. I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer.
What'd you think of the transition to the new Star Trek character that portrayed the same characters, the actors. What'd you think of those? Specifically, Carl Urban as the Doctor.
I think he did pretty good. To be honest, I think he
second
got.
that.
I think he nailed it pretty good.
Yeah. What about Spock?
Zachary Quinto was good. He was okay. I don't know that he quite got it, but it was good.
Yeah, it's Chris Pine that plays Kirk, right? Not Chris
Correct.
Pratt. Okay. I get
Yes.
them two confused for some reason.
Yeah, well, that's not hard to do.
All right, a 2-point trivia toss-up. What was Kirk's middle name?
Tiberius.
Oh God, we got a bunch of trekkers here.
Don't screw with us, man. Don't screw with us.
Damn, Jim, you're a little quicker than I was.
Yes,
They'll teleport you away.
that's right. James Tiberius Kirk.
What was the NCC number of the Enterprise?
NCC
1701.
1701.
Yep.
There was also an A, and a B, and a C, and a D, and a whole bunch of freaking things. The Enterprise D was the Next Generation. Anything else?
So I
No, that's-
answered that, but was in the kitchen getting the water. 1701, the first three letters were NCC.
And what
1701.
did NCC stand for?
That I'm not sure of.
Oh, good question.
I'm not Googling. Hands are not Googling.
Well, I'm not.
Alexis,
Googling-
what does NCC stand for? I'm not Googling. Alexis is in the back bedroom, by the way. National. No, that's not wrong.
A national on an intergalactic spaceship? I don't think national.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm not going to
I have
Google
no
it.
idea.
Let me think about this a minute. Plus, I'm getting bombarded with Mimi text.
Ken, I have to know, how did you come up with oatmeal and tomato juice for breakfast this morning?
Well, it was real easy. I said, Mrs. K, I'd like oatmeal and tomato juice for breakfast, and that's what I had.
Who has tomato juice for breakfast?
Obviously, I do.
It probably wasn't V8. It was just plain tomato juice.
It was plain tomato juice. I cannot stand V8. I've never liked V8. I'm not going to be one of those people that can go, I could have had a V8. No, I'll
There
just
you go.
stick with my plain tomato juice.
You can unspot me now, please.
I can do that. Maybe. There we go.
No, like I said, I can load those themes all day long.
I give up, Brian. NCC stands for.
I don't know.
Oh.
That's the only reason I'm here tonight. I wanted to find out what's NCC. Okay,
National Command and Control.
Hey, that's as good as a response as anything.
Yeah, once I said national, I thought maybe that wouldn't be right, but apparently she's watching Cops from Minnesota out of Minneapolis, and I get a snippet in my messenger of it. Okay. So Alex, I'm going to guess here you do not drink tomato juice.
I'll drink it. I'll drink tomato juice or V8, but I prefer V8.
Okay, so according to Google, I did Google it since no one knows. NCC officially stands for Navy-Curtiss Craft, referring to the fact that the design and construction of cruisers was a combination of the Navy's and Curtiss industry inputs.
I'm calling BS on that. That's Google, though, huh?
That is Google, yes.
Hey, Alexa, what does NCC stand for on the Star Trek Enterprise?
I'll be surprised if you actually get the correct response.
I'll be damned, you're right.
That's according to Google, but now
Alexa, shut up.
The question is Alexa slightly smarter than ChatGPT or on the same level?
Oh,
I would say I don't know about ChatGPT, but I would say Google is smarter than Alexa, Siri, Cortana, and all the rest of it.
I don't want to go out on a tangent here, but some people are obsessed with Chat GPT as a intellectual database, trying to ask it questions about this, and it doesn't know this, and it gets this answer wrong. And they need to go to Chat GPT and click on the About. It's a language model about teaching AI to have a conversation with humans. That's why you can ask one question, ask another question related to the first one, and Chat GPT will continue that as a conversation. That's the whole purpose of Chat GPT. You know, it even says they shut off the intellectual database part of it in 2021. It's not meant to be for information. It's meant to be learning how to converse with humans.
Well, there are humans that can't get
Because,
that.
because
Yeah,
you're
thank you.
saying,
I
you're
was
saying
I was
that-
trying to think how to segue into that, but
so
yes.
you're saying that the point of it is to teach humans how to talk to other humans.
Well, someone's got to program the Chat GPT, so in a way, you're right there.
Well, let's just be glad it's not Forrest Gump
Well, one thing it can do,
or Alex Cheek for that matter.
you have to, just like with Google, you have to know how to ask it. You have to know how to ask it the question of
Jim caught that. Nobody else did.
most of our most of my college classes were literally nothing, or seemed like they were nothing but the instructor teaching us how to look up stuff.
Well, here's a for instance about Chat GPT. I ask it about the city that I live in, which is Ceres, a small town, about 45,000 population. I said, tell me about Ceres, California. And it gave some information, and it says the town still has a drive-in movie theater. And I was thinking to myself, no, that closed back in about 2004. So I corrected GPT and I said, the movie theater closed in 2004. And it came back, says, well, thank you for giving me that information. And then I asked the question again, tell me about Ceres, California. And it left out the part about the movie theater. So it learned as part of that conversation. I came back the next day, a different day, and started a new conversation. Now that's the key, a new conversation. And I asked it, tell me about the city of Ceres, California. And it said, it's got a drive-in movie theater.
I was just about to ask you that question. I was going to say the real question here is if somebody else, it's not you, on a different computer with a different IP address on a different internet connection, says the same thing. Will it say the same thing about the movie theater?
Probably, assuming they asked the question in a very similar format.
One thing I was impressed about after I figured out how to word this question is I asked it how to program a Cisco router for internet access using the command line, and it gave me exact step-by-step instructions and all the text and everything that I would need to put in the command line so I could copy paste it if I was setting up a.
Right. I was surprised it's got such detailed information about that, especially when Doug Betts went and asked it about something about someone had a HP printer that they needed to reset or do something like that. So he asked it about the HP printer, and it came back with step-by-step instructions on that. And that was interesting.
It took me two or three tries to get it to give me what I wanted it to give me, but yeah. So it's all about how you word the question, just like similar to Google.
Yeah. Imagine it is.
What was he resetting on the HP printer?
I don't know. It was some user had written in, they were having problems on, what was it they were trying to do? Trying to get it onto duplex mode, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, I remember him talking about that. And
So this wasn't Joshy and his his HP printer problems, was it?
no, this was
Okay.
Doug.
All right.
Hmm.
I must have missed that episode.
So when I turned on my new modem the other day, when I plugged it up first time, it automatically it had a different SSID and all that for a few minutes. Then it automatically restored the SSID and all the settings from my old router. That was weird. So I went in and changed it.
Yeah, when I got my new one, they set it up for me so that I didn't have to change anything, which was fine. And I plugged it in, and there was no delay whatsoever. It was from the get go. It was the way it should have been.
I don't have that luxury, but that's not a luxury I want to have. I went in when I got this new router I've got now. I went in, programmed it with the same SSID and password as the old router, and unplugged the old router, and done. And I don't want it to be done automatically.
Well, with my OCD, I have to have everything the same on the it's written on the box on the side.
And see, I've matured because I did have a comment, but
Which is probably not that secure, but
BH Ringer,
No.
what movie is currently playing at the drive-in? I waited for 4 hours at the local drive-in to watch Close for the Season, and it never happened.
We should come out with a movie called Close for the Season.
Yeah, we came up
Shit coming from.
when we came from the VA last week. We came up a road that takes us right by a drive-in theater. It's in Centerton, Indiana. There's 2 things there: a drive-in theater and a recreation facility for softball. That's it. That's the only 2 things there. And Mrs. K's never been to a drive-in, so I was like, we'll go to a drive-in movie this upcoming spring and summer. I said, maybe we can jump in the back and do what people jump in the back to do. And she looked at me like I was crazy.
Like you were crazy?
I got her
Ian?
fooled.
But then you open up your trunk and you let the 4 other people that you snuck into the movie theater into the trunk.
Yeah.
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 Where is how far are you from I don't know what it's called, Pennington, Indiana? I watched a documentary today about a prison, like juvenile correction facility.
Are you talking about Pendleton?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not Pennington, it's Pendleton. I am give or take 35, 40 miles away. It's up on the
Pendleton.
northeast side of Indianapolis.
what's in Pendleton?
Juvenile Center used to be a prison there. I don't know if
So
the
that-
prison's
that-
still
that,
there or not.
So it stands for State Penitentiary, Pendleton.
Possibly. I mean, back when the city was named, who knows? Smells like she's cooking rice. I hate that smell.
Ken, that's Eastern time zone where you're at, right?
Yes, correct.
Now I know Indiana is split. They still got some counties that are Central time.
We have 6 total, 3 up north and 3 down south. The 3 up north are affiliated with Chicago, and the 3 down
Right.
south are kind of
By Evansville. By Evansville.
Yes.
Now, do they
No.
still call, to your knowledge, do they still, when I was back there, they didn't call it Eastern time and Central time. They called it fast time and slow time to differentiate between the counties.
Yeah.
So if you're
No.
going to this county, they'd say, oh, they're on slow time. Why, we're on fast time. They're on slow time.
Yeah. No, I haven't
I
heard that.
never
in
heard that.
many a moon. Oh, I have, but not in many, many, many a moon.
That's
I'm
how old I
hoping
am.
we don't. I'm hoping when this change comes up on the 12th, we don't ever change it again. I really hope they get that pushed through and we never have to change.
What change is that?
Keep it on daylight
Spring,
savings
never
time
time.
year round.
Yeah, we'll stay on the same times. We won't change our time back in November.
Only Indiana or the whole U.S.? I thought Congress was looking at that.
I can't remember which one of the two passed it. The other one has not, so therefore it's just sitting there in limbo. Hopefully they get their act together and get something passed, and we don't have to change come next November. I mean, it's silly.
If Congress gets involved, we'll be on that half-hour time like Venezuela and a few other countries.
In India, has it?
Half-hour time. Yeah.
Half-hour time?
Yes.
I'm
So
listening.
like they're some hours and India is some hours and 30 minutes ahead of us or something like that.
So, for example, it's 11:20 here right now in India. It could be 11:40 or 11:50. Or
Yeah, I think it's like
12:50 or whatever.
11:30, but
That's not confusing at all.
That's crazy.
Yes, that's interesting.
Well, Venezuela is one such country, but then again, it's Venezuela.
True. Very true.
Hey, Jim, I got a question for you. You mentioned you have a NAS device.
Yes.
The other day, either on here, maybe it was on Doug Betts, we were playing around with trace routes.
Yes.
If you do a trace route on your machine right now, what's your number one hop? Is your NAS device coming up as your number one hop?
No, I don't understand why it would.
no, your number one hop should always be your router.
Yeah, it's always what it is.
Well, what comes up in number one, I've got a USB device attached to my router for file storage purposes, not for media, for file storage, so that all the other computers that are on the router, on the network, can access any of those files. So anywhere that I go to, or anytime I use a trace route, the number one hop is that USB SSD, USB SSD drive.
How is that possible?
Yeah, I don't understand how that's possible either. That's
Nope.
interesting.
Well, I know, it threw me for a loop.
My guess is if you disconnect it, obviously it will not do that anymore. But I don't have anything. I think my Verizon router has a USB port on it, but I don't use that.
Ian, what are you doing? You need to go to the waiting room.
I learned this today from Doug. I wanted to see what my live latency was at 2.1, whatever it is. It means absolutely nothing to me. It just looks neat. Are you guys seeing it blink?
No.
No,
Okay,
not
so
blink.
only I get to experience this joy.
That's the number of seconds.
So I've got 2.11 live latency. What is it? What does it exactly mean?
You're dropping frames left and right, though, I could tell you that.
Yet the stream seems to be okay. So how do you know I'm dropping frames?
Because it's showing you the second line says frames.
Second line.
You got the video ID. Below that, you have what is it?
Oh, here we go.
Slash frames.
Second
frames.
line. Right. And 2,562 out of 83,000.
Yeah,
it's dropping frames. That's interesting.
How would he be dropping frames if he's on
10,
fiber
9.
optic, just like I am?
There's any one of a number of reasons for that.
I don't understand that.
Why because I'm still sharing my screen. I was wondering why Zoom didn't come back. So apparently fiber optics isn't the all great thing it's made out to be if I'm dropping frames. Now, it did seem to slow down when I stopped sharing my screen. And I apologize, I'm looking at my other monitor here. As a matter of fact, it hasn't dropped a frame since I put it back. Since I stopped sharing everything, both DaVinci, my DaVinci's how I share my screen to YouTube, and Zoom was being shared. It has not dropped one single frame since I stopped sharing that and turned off the DaVinci. So
I
I
think
wonder if
that-
that has some bearing on it.
More than likely.
My guess is because YouTube didn't like the fact that you had your mirroring effect going on you.
Well, I can. Okay, so let's put that theory to test. Right now, I'm at 2535, dropped at 86,744. So
I
instead
think
of
that Stats for Nerds is not quite ready for prime time. There's
is
a
that
lot
what
of
it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's give that a shot. I'm curious. Hey, Rick.
Hello.
Guess that would be this one, and that would be that
Got to
one.
get up early in the morning. Not looking forward to it.
So Stats for Nerds is running somewhere. No, it's not running. Why is it not running?
You turned it off.
Close it.
There we go. So you guys
Now you're stable.
right. So now I'm going to bring in the other. This is being shared over Zoom, and it's not dropping any that I can see. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the other part of that, which was DaVinci. And I've got to go grab the right screen here so that YouTube can see it. All right. Now let's see if it starts dropping frames. Doesn't appear to be, so maybe it was due to the fact it was on my main monitor. Maybe there's that makes no sense though. That absolutely.
Well,
makes
your
no
main
sense.
monitor is the one that's going out, though, right?
Not right now. My second monitor's going out. Everything's geared to go to my second monitor right now. Now, why it's mirroring, I don't know. It should not be mirroring because it's not OBS. This is YouTube, but it clearly is mirroring, or whatever you call that. So
It's simple why it's mirroring because you're showing the same feed that you're broadcasting. Of course, it'd be mirroring. It's no different than OBS when it's.
There's the answer to my question. It says Eastern Standard Time.
So is it still sitting at 29,
35.
35? Yeah.
100%
Interesting.
stable,
So
yeah.
let's try this. I'm going to bring it over here. And all I'm going to do is change the location to here. And it will start. Now there it's not mirroring yet. But you guys are looking at my brother and I, so let me change that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm aware. All right, I'm struggling here. Hold on a second.
how many mirroring effects can Ken get going at one time?
I don't know.
As
Never
many as
really-
it takes to annoy you.
I never really have tried it. How many would you like me to have?
I don't know. 1,000,000? 1,000?
I think we're all jumping down the endless rabbit hole looking at those stats.
Oh, you think?
Y'all are. I'm not.
Oh, I lost 3, 29.38 somewhere.
It's here somewhere.
The wonderful part is the mystery text.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
All right, I stopped sharing my screen. I'll jump back over here to the main Zoom and let that go. Yeah,
Hello, Rick Lakes. Nobody said hello to you yet.
I thought I did.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thought I did.
Hello.
Yeah,
Rick.
it takes them a while before they notice that I'm sitting here. Although Ken said it soon after I joined, but
I thought I did. I wasn't sure. Sometimes
It's all Ken. It's Ken's fault because he was screen sharing and we can't see everybody's video.
you can see it
full
across
screen
the
when
top
he-
of the screen, can you not?
We can only see. It depends on how big your screen is. Like it can't show all the videos if you're screen sharing, unless you hit the button, the right arrow key.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's true. You have to scroll through it. That you do have to do.
I was too busy looking at the stats for Ken. Oh no, I'm sorry, stats for nerds.
I found that interesting today. It doesn't really help out. And this is our old machine, Jim?
That is the
Or
NAS.
the NAS.
That's the NAS right there. There are two pairs of drives in that. Pair of 4 terabyte, pair of 8 terabyte.
I see you graduated from the Alex Cheek School of Cable Management.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've got to clean all that up at some point.
Not even close to my cable rat's nest.
So that's the NAS box.
But the sad part is there's nowhere else for me to put all these cables and everything, because I need to be able to access I need to have access to be able to plug stuff in, unplug stuff, and I can't have access to it if we make all the cables look nicer, because then you'll be putting the power strip down on the floor where I can't get to nothing.
I'm just lazy. They're all thrown back there somewhere. I don't really care what they look like.
Well, no, it works. That's what I needed to do. My mom's behind her computer is just as nasty. Used to be nastier when we had the router and everything plugged in on top of her computer, though, too.
Well, the mess of cables is not nasty. It's the big dust bunnies and spider webs that come across all that. That's the nasty part.
Mm-hmm.
Send Terry an email. He'll ask me if you need some cable management assistance.
My mom's favorite line is she comes in and looks at my cable mess on my desk and says, "Oh, that's a fire hazard." And yes, it may very well be, but you got to keep in mind, most of these cables I have sitting on this desk are Ethernet and USB cables that don't have, or very low voltage stuff. I don't have the very low voltage and very low wattage stuff. The only thing on this desk that I have that draws the most power is the computer, and it can only draw 500 watts.
You know, there's one thing that Terry and I have in common, and that's we both hate RGB.
I have an RGB keyboard, but not on the computer.
I don't see it. I don't understand it. I don't like windows in a computer. What do you want a window in a computer for?
So that if you got your computer on your desk and you got a really fancy clean desk, or you got people coming in your room, you can show them, I got this $2,000 computer and this graphics card and all that.
Let's see. Why?
Sort of like, hey, look at me type of deal, or what?
No, do you think?
That's part of it. That's certainly part of it.
I mean, I shouldn't talk. My desktop has a window on the side, but the whole thing sits down on the floor right next to the wall. The window is right next to the wall. I know I violated every rule there. Do not put your computer on the floor. But
that's the reason why when I got my mom's computer, she got a Corsair 200R case, because there's no window, because it's in one of them cubby holes that's designed for a computer. Her hutch that she's got, nobody's gonna see it anyway.
Now, Jim, I can't tell if there's a window on there or not. If there is, it's really clean.
Well, it's because this case is maybe 3 weeks old.
Well, the glass is nice and clean.
Yeah.
Bob Whatchamacallit says hello to everyone, and I tried to text him back, but I can't for some reason. That's interesting. BH Ringer says his latency is it's little squiggly mark 5.2.
It's called a tilde.
Yeah, that's sure. William
Yes.
Dawson says, Alex,
Greg
how's
is-
the job search going?
I actually have an update today.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 weeks, nearly 2 weeks. It'd be 2 weeks this coming Thursday since that guy called me. I called him today. The representative, whoever works the front desk, answered the phone. I said, I said, this is Alex. I want to speak to this guy about the job application or whatever. The guy that was talking to me says the guy I wanted to talk to, the operations manager, is in a meeting.
That's why there's a window in this case, because this is beautiful. Actually, I take it back. The glass is not on it. I take that back. The glass is not on it. I just looked down and I'm like, no, wait a minute. The glass panel is right here.
He's like the mime trying to get out of the glass cage.
Yeah, he is. There we go. Continue, Alex. So you spoke to a secretary.
The secretary says he's in a meeting. Well, he's in a meeting right now. Well, he said, let me see if I can get a hold of him. He got a hold of him and he says, the secretary says, he says he'll call you back by the end of the day. Well, end of the day, came and went, never got a call. But secretary also says that he's in the process of setting up and trying to schedule an interview, because he told me when I talked to him 2 weeks ago that he would like to meet me at like a restaurant or something. So
This is part of why you have a glass panel on your computer, because that's a freaking work of art.
and I was talking to the secretary, and they said that if I don't hear anything back, if he don't call me back today, I just call back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get somewhere. But me being me, I can't help but wonder if the guy I spoke to 2 weeks ago has got me mixed up with somebody else. So he's saying he's got an interview. So he's got me thinking he's got an interview for me, but he really is trying to schedule an interview for somebody else. Because I'm thinking maybe he might have interviewed 2 Alexes or whatever. But that's just me overthinking it.
Following in the me being me phrase that you started, me being me, you did identify yourself as Alex Cheak when he called, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
See, him overthinking something, there's a shocker.
Me being me.
Well,
my new band.
There was only, according to Indeed, there was only between 11 and 15 people that supposedly applied for this position. And I know this guy did not talk to all 15 people
Me being me, how do you know he didn't talk to all 15 people?
that applied. I don't know that for sure.
Wait, I'll replay the tape. You just said you know for a fact he didn't talk to all 15 people. Would you like me to replay that?
So, long
Politician
no,
there, gentlemen. Didn't even consider answering what I asked you.
Big silence there. Big silence.
Just all I can say about it is this guy has me. Since he said that since the secretary said that he's thinking about trying to get me an interview scheduled, he's got me on pins and needles, waiting for my phone to ring. Wondering if I should call him or wait on him to call, which may never happen.
Got about a 13-second delay from when I do something to when it shows up finally on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Just going to give a generic shout out to everyone. We'll mention Greg Guy was second today by about 41 minutes. You're getting closer, Greg.
I just woke up from a nap.
I couldn't nap today. I tried to, and I laid there and tossed and churned, and I finally, about 7 something, said, I got to get up. So anyway, I want to thank everybody. Tony Wallow, great guy. William Dawson, Bobby Warren, Bob Whatchamacallit was there. Wintermeat was there. B.H. Ringer was there. If I missed anybody, William Dawson was there. I'm sorry. Robert Michael shows up just in time for me to end the stream. See you guys tomorrow night about the same time, as she's still only working one job tomorrow. Good night. And there is a premiere tomorrow. It's a little bit longer. I don't remember what it's about.